But if you don't improve on the size and position method, your bridge will eventually collapse. So don't provoke. How do you provoke? The word provoke has the same idea as exasperated. Don't exasperate your children. How do you exasperate your children? So simple. You exasperate them when you don't adjust your style. For example, your children come to you. I remember my daughter, Daddy, can I go to the party tonight? Now my children know our values. If you are finished with your homework, if you are finished with your duty, if there's no family activities, my answer is always, sure, go ahead. Now during those days, I will ask my children, when will you come home? My daughter will say, well, can I come home at 2 o'clock in the morning? I said, why so late? You know, the party in those days, when my children were growing up, the party begins at what time? 10, 11, 12. So, what do you expect my daughter to do? Hello, hello, I am here. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You see, your children are not against you. They are not rebelling. But if you are unreasonable, you don't explain to them. They develop what? Anger, bitterness. You are provoking them. Because you use your size and power. Basta sabi ko. No. My children have learned to make decisions. Whatever they do, I taught them. Ask yourself, will this bring honor to God? Whatever you do, ask yourself, can I go to this party? Can I go to this occasion? Ask, will this bring honor to God? See, I've taught my children to make decisions. So when I help them make decisions, they don't get angry. You know why? Because I have taught them. You don't provoke them. Now, many parents are totally unreasonable. Let me give you an example. Would you like more examples? Now, if you're seated with your parents, don't hit them, okay? They're listening to me now. The parents will say, okay, you can do it. Then they fail to commit their commitments. They don't fulfill their promises. That is provoking your children. Double standards, playing favoritism. You say yes to this person, you don't say yes to the next person. In other words, if you want to provoke your children, play favoritism, worst of all, be a hypocrite. What is a hypocrite? You tell them we should go to church. But then they look at your life. You don't follow the Bible. You shout at each other and you tell them to go to church. That, my friend, is called provoking your children. That won't build bridges. You got to connect to the heart. So how do you connect? Can I tell you how we connect? Well, look at this verse, everybody. Let's look at this verse. One more time. Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up. The word bring them up is one word in the original language. It means to nourish them. That is the same word used to describe Jesus nourishing the church. That is the same word used to tell the husband to love your wife. The word nourish means what? You care for them. You cause them to grow. Bring them up means what? You nourish. You got to nourish relationship. You got to nourish, meet the needs of children. Example how that word is used. This is how it is used in the Bible. The word bring them up. Nourish. Everybody read this. Husbands ought to love their own wives as their own bodies. He who loves his own wife loves himself. Continue reading. No one ever hated his own flesh. But what? Nourishes. Cherishes it. You are to nourish your children. You are to bring them up. So what does that mean? You have to, the way Christ did it, you think of the word garden. You know garden? How do you cause the flowers to grow? You put fertilizer, you put water. You have to be intentional. To nourish is very intentional. When my kids were growing up, we nourished them by connecting, by communicating, and by complimenting them. Very simple approach. Let me give you an example. When the kids were growing up, we would connect with them by hanging around with them, spending good time. And I noticed about kids, they love to eat. So, one way to connect with them, you bring them out to eat. Now, what do they like to eat? My wife loves to eat salad. When we go to the States, she will tell me, let's go to Olive Garden. Why? It's a buffet, but you feel like a rabbit. It's all salad. Now, listen to me. When we were spending time with our kids, connecting, where did we bring them? Not Olive Garden. Where do they like to go? No, they like McDonald's, Burger King, all the junk food. Now, did we eat with them? Yes. I ate with them. You know why? You want to connect. You do what they like to do and not what you like to do. You see, many parents don't understand this concept. Don't force your kids to do what you like to do when they're younger. My style is very simple. When they were younger, I was very strict. But as they grew older, I began to what? But we were strict. How? I made sure we have relationship. If you are strict and you don't have relationship, they will rebel. But we have relationship. You won't believe this. I taught my kids how to drive a car. All of them. I taught them how to swim. I taught them how to play basketball. Why? It's called connect. One day, I brought them to the golf course. Okay? I wanted them to learn to play golf. I discovered something. Wanting children to play golf in the hot sun, chasing a ball, is like bringing them to a funeral service. They did not like it. You know what I did? I changed. I played basketball with them for many years. I used to beat them, okay? And then pretty soon they would beat me. And then pretty soon, after every game, I'll go to the house, and my wife will see me limping. My wife will say, "What's wrong with you?" I said, our kids, they play hard basketball. Then one day I heard them talking among themselves. Right? They did not realize I was listening to them. They were talking among themselves. They said, "You know what? We need to play golf with our father because he spends time with us playing basketball on their own." Today, if you ask my children, do they love to play golf? Yes. They finally wise up. They discovered that the best sports in the world is golf. They wise up because they learn you can play golf even you're 80. You can play golf when you're 70. You can play golf when you're 60. And you can compete with each other. But I did not force them. It's called what? You build bridges. What are the bridges? Sports, eating, vacation, fun time. Understand? You build bridges. You connect. You communicate. How do you communicate? Very simple. Would you like to learn how to communicate? I will teach you. Here is the rule of communication. Let's read this together, everybody. The more you listen to your children, the more you understand them. And the more you understand them, the more you can influence them. The same thing goes with singles. The more you listen to parents, the more you listen to fellow singles, the more you understand them. And the more you understand them, the more you can what? Now the truth is this. We don't know how to listen. My proof. Most of parents I know do not know how to listen. The moment your children are telling you something, what do? You jump in and you immediately correct them. Mali yan, anak, mali yan. No. Listen means what? Listen. You look at them in the eyes. You don't talk. Listen. I'm learning to listen. Listen to the unspoken words. Let me repeat. Listening is the art of listening to unspoken words. You pay attention. I remember years ago when I was dating my wife. I was listening. She would tell me, remember, my repertoire of food is so simple. Chinese, Chinese, Chinese. But with my wife, she would make hints. She would say, I like salad. I guarantee you, the next date, what will we do? We will have Caesar salad, whatever salad. And then one day, my wife touched my head. Well, we were not yet married. She touched my head. After swimming, my hair was, dry, no pomade. She touched my head. She said, "Wow, your hair is so nice without pomade." Remember, I used to use pomade, tan so thick pomade. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, okay, the young ones.